Carly Fiorina is chair of the American Conservative Union Foundation and former CEO of Hewlett-Packard, and she is my guest today on The Real Story. It's great to have you on the program, Carly. We just heard the former Secretary of State be hypocritical, right?
Yes. How many ways can we count that she's been hypocritical? Look, this whole email scandal, not only does Hillary Clinton obviously believe that people should do as she says, not as she does, not only does she obviously believe that the rules don't apply to her, but it's yet another example of something that clearly looks like a problem, clearly looks like a conflict, just as the Clinton Foundation taking donations from foreign governments while she's Secretary of State. Honestly, I think it's a pattern. She doesn't think the rules apply to her, and that's very disturbing.
I know you've been tweeting out since this was revealed yesterday. Here's one of your tweets. Does she believe that leadership can exist without transparency? How do you answer that question?
Well, of course, leadership has to be transparent because people need to know that they can count on their leaders, that they can count on their leaders' character, that they can count on their leaders' competence, that they can count on their leaders' motivation. And you can't count on character and competence and motivation unless you can see what a leader is doing. And that's why transparency is so important, and it's why a lack of transparency becomes corrosive over time to trust.
Well, it's been very interesting to watch you. You're developing your strategy about whether or not you're going to run for president in 2016. When you were at CPAC and other places, you have been very, very critical of Hillary Clinton. That is obviously part of your strategy, right?
Well, Hillary Clinton is the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party. And so she is the standard bearer for her party's policies and practices. And I find her policies, her practices, and frankly now we know her personal behavior extremely troubling and damaging for this nation. So her record, you know, outside of the world of politics, a track record and accomplishments is fair game. So is her track record, and so are her accomplishments or lack thereof.
All right, something else that many people in this nation are worried about is Iran. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making a big splash on Capitol Hill. So here's the question for you. Should the Obama administration heed his warning about Iran, or will they just continue to try and make a deal?
Well, unfortunately, they will not heed his warning. Should they? Of course they should. I can remember sitting in Bibi Netanyahu's office 5 years ago when he wanted then to talk about Iran. Bibi Netanyahu came here not to insult our president. He came here because he is exceedingly concerned that a deal with Iran is not only an existential threat to his own nation, but a danger to our nation. And I am frankly insulted when someone like Nancy Pelosi describes Netanyahu's speech as an insult to the intelligence. I mean, this is a world leader who is coming here because he believes the American people need to hear his warning and because he has been unsuccessful in influencing this president behind the scenes.
I want to get to another topic that's near and dear to your heart because you're announcing the creation of Unlocking Potential, nonprofit group focused on educating women about today's issues and policies. Tell me more.
Well, we actually launched that effort last year. It was born out of last year's CPAC, actually. We spent all of 2014 helping candidates win by educating women about the issues and getting women engaged in the political process. We had great success in states like North Carolina and Colorado and Iowa. And so we're holding a conference now, March 21st and 22nd, right here near Washington, D.C., and bringing women from all over the country to really talk about the issues. You know, women are now 53% of the vote. We are the majority of the nation.
Yep.
And women care about every issue, and we think sometimes differently about those issues. We know, for example, that women think a bit differently about the health care issue than men do. And so this is a great opportunity to bring all these great women who are actively engaged in politics now to our nation's capital to talk about the issues.
All right, Unlocking Potential, that's going to take place later on this month. Carly Fiorina, fantastic to have you on the show today. Thank you so much.